Adventure is when there's a part of unknown, I'd say. We have an idea of where we're going on a GPS track, but we never know what will happen. We leave for 3 weeks to do the 12 days of racing. The days are tough, so we drive slowly. We need 2 days to do one stage. We're in total autonomy.
I couldn't push the bike there. I had to wait for about an hour before another competitor came along and helped me pull the bike to the finish line.
We also live an adventure. It's different, but it's there for us to serve the Dakar and prepare a course. But we have our adventure as well. Of course, we do many U-turns. Some are surprised when we design the road book. We go forward, we turn back, we go again, we try a track on the right, on the left, and this one was better, so we go back 40 kilometers behind. Why? Because we want to give the competitors the best. My pleasure is that of the others. It's when they arrive in the evening with a big smile because they loved it. I tell myself that I won my bet. I know the future is here, that we'll be able to offer for a long time with Saudi Arabia and its neighbors magnificent courses for the future editions of the Dakar. As you might have seen, we sometimes struggle quite a bit to design this beautiful course. Hello and welcome to the presentation of the 2021 Dakar for the second time in Saudi Arabia, 43rd edition. The world has been troubled. Each one of us has been affected with more or less repercussions by this sanitary crisis we're currently witnessing. Despite all this, many of you have registered for this 2021 Dakar, close to 330 competitors. I'd like to thank all those concerned in Saudi Arabia who worked with determination to organize this rally. It's now time to discover the course of the 43rd edition of the Dakar. You now know all the stages of this Dakar. The 12 stages between Jeddah and Jeddah from the 3rd to the 15th of January. But before the 3rd, we'll get together on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of December at the Marseille harbour to load all the vehicles that will go by boat to Jeddah. Then, on the 1st and 2nd of January, there'll be administrative and technical scrutineering. Then, before the famous start podium, we'll have a novelty this year, a prologue of around 10 kilometers on hard and open soil. It'll allow you to determine the start positions for stage 1, so that everyone has a position and has a clean race without too much dust for stage 1. Let us start. 3rd of January, stage number 1. We'll take off from Jeddah to go to the city of Bisha. A short special, I'd say, to start with, 277 kilometers. with a fairly open and fast first part. You'll have to be careful in the middle with far more rocks and stones, so be careful with punctures. Don't go too fast on that first special. Then stage 2. We'll really enter into the thick of things, with straight after the start a long dune portion to go through, around 30 to 40 kilometers, and then faster parts, but a lot of navigation. And you'll discover what navigation is like in Saudi Arabia, with a lot of different tracks that aren't always mentioned on the road book. You have to be very careful with directions. Talking about navigation, you know that since last year we decided to give road books only in the morning. That'll occur on all the stages of this Dakar, with for all the bikers the paper road book. For the cars, trucks and lightweight vehicles in the elite list, it'll be the same, but with a digital tablet that appears for the first time on the Dakar. And as of 2022, it'll concern all the vehicles of the Dakar. Let's carry on with stage 3, a loop around Wadi Ad Dawasir, first loop of this rally. Once again, a fast special over 403 kilometers, with as soon as the starts, little dune portions to cross. Not long, but there are several every 10 kilometers. That'll be the difficulty of the stage. Then large valleys, fairly fast, and a final part where one will have to be focused on the road book with far more rocky and technical parts. Stage 4 is a transition stage, let's say, that will allow us to reach the capital Riyadh. A real nice special, one of the nicest in terms of pleasure, technical, a lot of piloting over 337 kilometers to reach the capital where everything really started, where all our preparation meetings take place, especially the security meetings. And when we mention safety, you know it's one of the priorities of ASO, the safety of bikers, of course, with this year a mandatory airbag, inspired by what is done in MotoGP. We worked with the International Bike Federation, with the industry, with doctors, to develop this product. So it appears on the Dakar this year and will be mandatory for all the bikers. Talking about safety, we also developed a sound alarm on the GPS systems. When the riders reach a danger 2 and 3 zone, they'll be alerted by a beep beep on their GPS. Third point, the work we've done on the course to reduce global speed of the vehicles all along the rally. We worked on the course during recce's, but we'll also push the bikers to ride slower by limiting the number of tires. The elite riders will only have 6 tires throughout the rally. They'll have less time to work on their bikes as well. For instance, they can't touch their bikes at refueling. There'll only be a moment to rest, to drink and eat. And we'll also limit the number of piston changes. Let's continue, because we still have 2 stages before reaching the rest day. Stages 5 and 6 are 2 tough ones of week 1. Stage 5, 419 kilometers of special, and it'll seem very long. We won't go very fast on large rocky parts mixed with dunes. It won't be an easy special, and it'll seem very long for everyone. Stage 6, Buraida to Hail. It's a 100% sand stage. No earth, no stones, only sand from start to finish. It's long, competitors will surely finish late, with dune parts of course, but also a lot of sandy paths. Tracks with big ruts that local trucks normally go on. Physically very difficult. Late finishes probably, but you know that you're allowed to arrive the next day before noon at the rest day to be able to stay in the official rankings. So we've reached the rest day, rest for the competitors and work on the vehicles. There are also moments to share and discuss. Many competitors will be able to talk to those of the new category of this Dakar, the Dakar Classic. Indeed, ASO, for the first time, will organize a race based on regularity during the rally.
more difficult than I expected, to tell the truth. But I'm very happy to be here. You know, I don't fight for the position. I just want to fight with myself and with nature and to be at the end.
You might have understood it concerns all vehicles from before 2000 who did the Dakar and will be able to take part in this new Dakar Classic event. We'll be able to see the famous Citroën ZX that had allowed Pierre Latic to win the rally in '94. We'll also see the famous Hiltis of 1980 that also won the car class, or the Porsche from 1984, cars that made us dream in the 80s that will be at the start of this new race. So what is it exactly? It's based on regularity and not purely a stopwatch. They'll have time averages to respect, and that will change based on difficulties on the special. We'll now leave the rest day to start week 2 of the Dakar with stage number 7 that takes us from Hail to Sakaka. It'll be the first part of a marathon stage. In Sakaka, there'll be no assistance. Competitors will be autonomous. That special is in 3 parts. First part of around 100 kilometers with a lot of sand and dunes. One will have to be careful with fuel consumption. Then a flat part with rocks and tricky tracks.
De cailloux, de pistes très piégeuses, et ensuite une partie.
And then a final part that is a lot faster before reaching Sakaka, where the competitors will be alone and will have to deal with what they have. No assistance. Last year, we were already very clear with all the competitors who hadn't done the entire stage, and again, they won't be allowed to go to that bivouac and won't be able to assist their friends. One really has to be extra careful during these 2 days. Once the Sakaka stage is finished, we'll head to the Red Sea with part 2 of the marathon stage over 375 kilometers. It's a fairly short distance for a marathon stage, not too many kilometers. 2 important moments in the special. A first part on sandy tracks with rocks, so be careful with punctures. A lot of intersections, a lot of navigation. And on the second part of the special will again be in extraordinary landscapes that we discovered last year next to Neom with sand valleys. Incredible tracks with rocky hills of over 200 meters surrounding us. It really is magical. You'll have to keep an eye on the track, but it's an incredible place that will allow us to reach Neom. So we're in Neom. Let's continue with stage 9, another loop, the second of this Dakar. The Neom loop. It starts in a beautiful setting by the Red Sea, where for 10 kilometers you'll be along the Red Sea, almost touch it. We'll be right by it. The track is 3 or 4 meters from the sea. Then it's rockier in big valleys, before a sector in the middle of the special that is absolutely magnificent. Sandy tracks with a real pleasure of driving. And again, a tricky final part in canyons with many stones, so be careful to remain focused and not puncture to reach the city of Neom for the second consecutive evening. Stage 10 will take us from Neom to Al Oula. Like for stage 4, it's a transition stage, a shorter stage. 342 kilometers with 3 parts. Firstly, we'll go through the famous canyons of Neom for the last time, and then we'll go up to sandier tracks, switching from sand to stones in big valleys before reaching Al Oula. Al Oula is another city that we had the pleasure to discover last year. Incredible, with fabulous landscapes. This beautiful bivouac, probably one of the nicest of the rally, at the bottom of dunes and rocks. That shorter stage will be an opportunity for the bikers without any assistance, those traditionally called the Malmoto, to recover a little before the last 2 stages. Today, they have become the original bimotul, created back in 1995 by Hubert Auriol, for whom we have a special thought today. Let's discover these original bimotul bikers. It's a real pleasure for me to see that my baby, the Malmoto class, still exists. We created it to help the bikers and push more riders to come on the rally. And that's how the idea came of giving them some logistical support. And that's how we created the Malmoto. It's now sponsored by Motul, and honestly, I believe the riders are really happy because they make the best of it, and it gives the possibility to participate to many people and prove that they're able to do the Dakar. It's a fantastic adventure, it's a human adventure. It's a battle against the elements. It's a sporting race. On a human perspective, it's fantastic. And the bikers have given an amazing dimension to this race because the biker is fragile. He's more exposed and he has to deal with things alone. He's alone to take decisions, alone to navigate. He has to repair his bike alone. I wanted to reach the finish, but when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. For me, the most amazing thing is when the competitor reaches the finish with his eyes shining. So happy to have finished because he's done it. We now have 2 stages left, but not any stages, especially stage 11, that is for me the most difficult of this Dakar and the longest special. 511 kilometers to cover, 100 kilometers of dunes. I was lucky enough to do it with the roadbook during recce's, and it took us almost 2 days, so you know what to expect. A really hard special. You'll have to keep some energy for this Al Oula Yambu stage. Yambu is a new city of the rally, once again by the Red Sea. Then we'll have stage 12, a little easier, of course, and shorter, 225 kilometers of special, with a finish by the Red Sea that might remind some of a famous finish for those who went there in Dakar by the Pink Lake, of course. Then the competitors will cover a liaison all the way to Jeddah and the stadium where the final podium ceremony will take place. To sum things up, 12 stages, 4,800 kilometers of specials for a total of a little over 7,000 kilometers, a marathon stage, a rest day in Hale. Let me now welcome the head of the competitors department, Charles Kuipers, to talk about the impressive field of this Dakar.
Well, thank you, David. And as you say, a lot of competitors have signed up for Dakar 2021. There will be 560 drivers and co-drivers in 328 vehicles across all categories. 49 countries will be represented, with the highest number of competitors coming from France, Spain and the Czech Republic. There will be 82 legends this year. That's drivers and co-drivers who have taken part in more than 10 Dakars. On the flip side, there will be 142 rookies who'll be getting their first taste of the Dakar. There are 15 competitors in all categories from the host country, Saudi Arabia. And finally, there are 16 women taking part and one all-women's team.
Let's now check out the top contenders of the Dakar. Ricky Brabec will be the man to beat, wearing number 1 after his first success last year. He'll have at his side Kevin Benavides and Joan Bereda. KTM line up 3 former winners of the rally: Toby Price, Sam Sunderland and Austrian Matthias Wagner. Riding a gas, Laia Sanz will be hoping to be the best woman of the Dakar for the 10th consecutive time. Leading the Yamaha squad, Adrien van Beveren will be hoping for luck in his quest for glory. At his side, he'll have 2 new teammates, Andy Short and Ross Branch. Twice on the podium of the Dakar, second last year, Pablo Quintanilla wants to go 1 step higher. He'll be helped out by Luciano Benavides. Among the Sheiko TVS riders, all eyes will be on Lorenzo Santolino and rookie Rui Gonçalves, an enduro specialist. And finally, Hero line up 3 riders including Portugal's Joaquim Rodrigues. Victorious a year ago, Carlos Sainz will be hoping for a 4th success, but will face legend Stéphane Péterancel, his teammate. Another former winner, Nasser Al-Attiyah, leads the Toyota squad alongside Janil De Villiers and local hero Yazid Al-Raji. A new team and two legends, Sébastien Loeb and Nani Roma, will be driving the new Bahrain Raid Extreme buggy. 8th last year, Mathieu Serradori will hope to better his performance and welcomes Saudi Yazir Saidan in the SRT team. While Abu Dhabi's Khalid Al-Qasimi will be hoping for glory in his Peugeot alongside former bike legend Cyril Després. In the lightweight vehicles, it'll be quite a battle in the SSV Series class. Can-Am lineup, former winner Varela as well as Gerard Fares, Austin Jones and Aaron Domzala. A winner in South America, Chaleco Lopez of Chile, will hope for glory in Saudi Arabia. For the first time, Polaris USA show up on the Dakar with 3 crews including Kristen Matlock. Meanwhile, in the T3 class per prototypes, all eyes will be on Sergei Karyakin, the Russian former winner, on a quad. The OT3 boys want victory and not just stage wins. Mitch Guthrie will have 18-year-old Seth Quintero at his side, while WRC driver Chris Meek will discover the Dakar in a Zephyr prototype. In the truck race, Kamaz remain unbeaten for the last 4 years and will be seeking an 18th Dakar crown thanks to Karganov, Shibalov, Sotnikov or Mardayev. The Maz squads line up 2 potential podium finishers, Vyazovic and Wisniewski. 5th last year, Martin Maciek has big ambitions in his Iveco truck, while Ales Loprise will hope to hit back after a disappointing 7th spot last year. Finally, Martin van den Brink will lead the Dutch contingent in his Renault truck. And actually, one of those who will be fighting for victory has joined us for this presentation. He's currently preparing the Dakar. It's Sébastien Loeb. Hi, Sébastien.
Hello.
So talk to us about this return on the Dakar. Why? Were you missing a victory?
Well, listen, I've always enjoyed taking part in the Dakar. There is the whole adventure side to the rally, which isn't always easy. Sometimes you get to the end of the race and you say, wow, that was tough, we really struggled, it wasn't much fun. But then when you think about it later, you remember the incredible landscapes and all the fantastic memories. The Dakar takes you to places that you would never go otherwise. And yeah, it's true that I did pretty well the last few times I took part, especially the most recent participation where we didn't win, but overall we were very, very quick. So it's kind of a bit of all that that has made me want to come back.
So you'll have a different car compared to what you knew. It's a turbo fuel 4x4. How were the first tests?
It's a nice car to drive, I like it. It's agile, a 4x4, so the driving style's similar to the WRC cars that I'm used to, rather than the buggies. I enjoy driving it. It's been designed with performance in mind. The weight is centralised and the car is quite compact. I hope that we'll perform well, and honestly I think the car is up to the task. We want to fight for overall victory. We're not going to fight for 15th place.
Perfect. Thank you, Sébastien. We wish you and the team a good final preparation and see you in Jeddah. You now know everything, or almost, about this Dakar. Competitors, you have a little over a month to finish your preparation. Spectators, in over a month, you'll be in front of your screens, admiring the spectacular landscapes. I'd therefore like to use a famous sentence of Dakar founder Thierry Sabine: to give a thrill to those who go and to make dream those who stay. And the final word of this program is therefore for the adventurers, the heroes of the Dakar. The best memory can only be victory, of course.
I don't even know the words. I mean, yeah, it was incredible.
we saw during the race was even more beautiful than what we could have imagined.
Also for me, some parts for me, I surprise is very nice.
The landscape there is amazing. We went through so many amazing places that it felt like sometimes we were on Mars.
A race where navigation had a key role.
500 meters, roll caution 2.
We had a playing field with wide open deserts, a lot of off-piste, a lot of navigation.
How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm impatient to return there for sure.
This is the right place for Dakar.